One of the big topic this semester would be design patterns. What is a design pattern? What happens is that as you solve a number of problems in the IT field, you will see that some aspects of the problems, or maybe you might want to call it a sub-problem, those things repeat across systems. And your task may be to construct a design for the entire system, and the task would be somewhat easier if you already have experience solving similar problems. So if you find that part of the problem that you are attempting to solve has already been solved in a previous project, then you can use the corresponding solution to solve the same problem. Sometimes what happens is that the solution may be, the problem may be slightly different, in which case the solution has to be adapted a little bit. So what some people have found was that this is indeed true, which I suppose many people have suspected. But what these people, there were 4 of them in the mid-90s, what they did was actually identify a number of such problems that recur in the IT field. So the corresponding solutions to these problems are called design patterns. So I think it was 23. There were 23 design patterns identified in a book called Design Patterns, written by 4 people, Gamma and 3 others. They are called the Gang of 4. It's a fantastic book. You might want to read it sometime. I would suggest that you look at it after you have completed this course, or you have gone through a good part of this course. Then it becomes a little more understandable. At this time, it may look very dry and unappealing. So I wouldn't recommend you're looking at it right now, but at some point in time, you should take a look at that book. I think it would be very beneficial. You'll be covering a number of design patterns that are in the Gang of 4 book. So let's go through these slides here. Design patterns are kind of introduced in this particular slide in multiple domains, like the aircraft industry, or the hospitals, or university settings, the hotel industry. You have multiple domains, right? They exhibit similar types of problems. I mean, the entire application is different, but within the application, there are problems that look similar. So experience is important. If you have experience solving problems over a number of years, you would have gained a lot of expertise, and you'll be able to identify problems more quickly and come up with their solutions. But if you already have exposure to a bunch of problems that are recurring, even before you start on real projects, that would really help you. That would actually be very beneficial, because you can get all that experience in a very short period of time. So design patterns are actually such solutions that involve a set of classes and interfaces, their relationships. Usually they have a small number of classes and interfaces, maybe 3 or 4 classes, 2 or 3 interfaces. I'm just giving a rough number. Sometimes you may just have a couple of classes and a couple of interfaces, or maybe just one interface. We'll see different kinds of design patterns in this course. And their simply show the structure of the solution for a problem, and you need to adapt that structure to suit individual occurrence of a problem. So here are a couple of definitions that I have found in the literature. You can read those. Pattern is a way of doing something or a way of pursuing an intent. They are partial solutions to common problems, right? Let's see these and see whether there is anything that is worth a little more emphasis. So this is a little abstract here. You may not quite understand what these things mean. Don't worry too much about it. We will see all these, or at least most of these ideas in the course of doing class projects. But this is probably much more understandable. A design pattern is composed of a small number of classes that through delegation and inheritance provide a robust and modifiable solution. These classes can be adapted and refined for the specific system. So what we are getting is kind of a template that you need to modify. One thing you will find is that it is not understanding the template that is going to be difficult. It is going to be identifying that there is an opportunity for employing a specific design pattern. So I'm highlighting a number of things here. They involve a small number of classes and interfaces. They usually need adaptation, and it needs some practice to recognize situations where a design pattern could be applied. Here is the list of some of the design patterns in the Gang of Four book: iterator, singleton, adapter, bridge, observer, state, decorator, chain of responsibility, interpreter, and command. We probably won't be dealing with chain of responsibility and command. We will be looking at maybe one or two, maybe more than that actually, a few other patterns that are not in this list in this course. We'll be looking at iterator, singleton, adapter, bridge, observer, state, command, possibly decorator, I'm not so sure. We will be looking at composite, most probably, and visitor for sure. So we'll be seeing maybe about a dozen design patterns in this course, but there is more.